It's a great honor and opportunity to be part of this, and I hope that we'll be having a fruitful conversation in addressing the issues and concerns of our student body. And since we have our inline resolutions, I hope that we'll be voting for the better resolutions that will cater the needs of the students and will benefit for the next academic year. And always remember that we will transcend borders and elevate excellence. That would be all. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we proceed to the President of the BU's 50th Society, Mr. Ethan Joshua Esquejo. Again, Mr. Esquejo. Mr. Esquejo is not around. We shall proceed to the President of Bicol University Lakas Angkan Youth Fellowship President, Hazel Faith Hentolanes. Again, Ms. Hentolanes. Since she is not around, we proceed to the IBCF Mayon Christian Fellowship President, Warren Manzano. Again, Mix Manzano. Okay, we shall proceed to the IPOS Bicol University Fashion Society President, Uriel Bulanon. Excuse me, sorry to interrupt, but your audio is not that clear. Your audio is a bit, the volume of your audio is a bit really low, but it's okay. You can proceed.
As a representative of I'm Angela Dino. On behalf of this organization, I would like to thank you for behind this meeting as well as fellow legislators and the recognition that we have today. Also, may this meeting be successful. I hope this will be a recognition the better than the one instituted student body.
Thank you. Now we proceed to the President of Bicol University Integrity Crusaders, John Brian Abitria.
Thank you, Madam Chair, distinguished colleagues, and fellow legislators. In the name of accountability, transparency, and participatory governance, it is a great honor to be here among you. It is indeed a privilege to represent and speak on behalf of Bicol University Integrity Crusaders and studentry of BU community. It is a huge responsibility, and I hope that I and will do justice for our biggest responsibility to uphold the rights and welfare of our fellow student, Just Mabalas.
Thank you. Continuing with the President of BU Philippine Geothermal Scholars, Janela Christine Bello. Again, Mix Bello. Okay, we proceed to the President of Atelier Bicol University, Mr.
Good morning, everyone. I am Hendrix Jul Bernal, the Creative Director of Atelier Bicol University. I am happy that I am here representing the United Visual Artists of Bicol University. I hope I can voice out their interests while also doing all of this for the welfare of the whole student body. And I urge everyone that we think of long-term actions and that we do not only do this for the sectors we represent, but for all the students. So ayan, hoping for a productive meeting, and again, good day to everyone.
Thank you. Now we proceed to the President of the BU Hosting Guild, Mr. Vince Joseph Vibar. Again, Mr. Vibar. Since he is not around, we shall continue with the President of the Every Nation Campus BU, Tehilan Chloe Kahuday.
Good morning, everyone. I am Tehilan Chloe Kahuday, the President of Every Nation Campus. It is a privilege to be part of the first General Legislative Council meeting. I hope that we would all have a meaningful and productive time today in making resolutions that would benefit the whole student body of Bicol University in the new normal. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you. We proceed to the Elevate Bicol University President, Maria Tiffany Iliana. Again, Mix Liana.
And shalom. Thank you, Madam Chief Legislative Officer, and to our distinguished colleagues from different organizations and to League Student Councils in this first General Legislative Assembly spearheaded by the University Student Council. This is Mary Tiffany Aliana, Premier and Officer in Charge of Finance of Elevate Bicol University. It is an honor for me to be part of this assembly on behalf of our organization. I look forward to working with you all in pushing for the implementation of various legislations that will benefit the common good and definitely support the holistic well-being of all BUenos. Primarily, Elevate BU will be one of you all in exemplifying the four pillars of the university: character, leadership, scholarship, and service as a push for Elevate's vision to see a movement of millions of Christ-committed students meeting in small groups, transforming lives, families, campuses, communities, and nations for the glory of God by taking students to the next level as we desire for every student to experience a life empowered through values, excellence, and leadership. Marhay na aldaw tabi sa atong kabos. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. We proceed to the President of Yeshua Heartbeat, Joanna D. Dipres.
Good morning, Ma'am Chair and everyone. I am Sofia Dayan F. Alano, the Treasurer of Yeshua Heartbeat. In behalf of Yeshua Heartbeat Organization, I am grateful for this opportunity to join the first General Legislative Council meeting. I am a proxy for our YHP President, Joanna D. Libres, due to her other important commitments. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you. We proceed to the President of the Bicol University Knights, ROTC, Freddy Noel Jr. Mr. Noel? He is not here. We proceed to the President of Bicol University Labud, Angelica Nunez.
Good day to each member of this assembly. I am Angelica Nunez, the President of BU Labud. As this General Legislative Assembly commences, I am looking forward to a meaningful and productive discussion. May we pass the resolutions that will protect the student body. As student leaders, our priority is the welfare of our fellow BUenos. For our fellow students, let us lead. Thank you, and once again, good day.
Thank you. Thank you to the UBO President. We proceed now to the Editor-in-Chief of the Bicol Universitarian, Denver Gonzalo.
Good night, yeah. Madam Chair, ladies and gentlemen of this General Legislative Council, I am Denver Gizano, the Editor-in-Chief of the official student publication of BU System, the Bicol Universitarian. I rise today on a matter of collective privilege of the entire student publication in Bicol University. Hence, I would like to acknowledge the presence of all the chief editors of the student publications of BU System that is here and has undergone challenges due to lack of funds and oppression of the state. We have challenges right in our very midst. As we all know, the anti-terror law that has been passed recently has been a threat to journalists all over the country. As the representatives of the student and journalists in our academic community, we and our predecessors have aspired for resolutions with the noble intention of improving the experience of our students. Throughout the years of BU, we carried out the mandate and legacy of the Council right on this very platform. Today, we have to take into consideration the experience of our students who suffered due to the pandemic and the current pressing system of our government. Every road to progress is paved with good intentions. May God help us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Apologies for that. We have to follow the approved time limit for the speeches. Now, before we proceed to the next speaker, I shall call the UBO President of the LLR Reforma, Mr. Jimmy Canapit.
Hello, good day. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Again, good day. Unfortunately, our president, Mr. Canapit, is not available because of other matters. On behalf of him, I'm Alyssa Moljad Villariña, the Public Information Officer of LLR Reforma, and I'm thankful to be part of this General Legislative Council meeting. And on behalf of everyone, today I hope to have a meaningful and productive discussion that will continue to benefit the student welfare of Bicol University. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we proceed to the chairperson of the University Student Council of Bicol University, Mr. Mark Lugialea.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I'm very thankful for everyone being able to attend this meeting. I hope that the suggestions given to a consultation meeting was already adopted and will be presented properly later during the presentation of resolutions. And I would like to assure the members of this body that I am advocating for every resolution that I see fit for the students, and I would like to continue to do this. And I would like to ask for your help to let us please expedite the approval of certain resolutions that you know that are very that is affected. I mean, of the time in our university. Thank you very much, everyone, and more power to the General Legislative Council. More power to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much to all our speakers. Now we shall continue to the next item of the order of our business, the announcement or reading of the roles and functions of the officers of the Assembly. We shall begin with the presiding officer. Next slide, please. For the pro tempore, for the presiding officer, sorry, please go back to the previous slide. The internal vice chairperson of the Bicol University Student Council, being the chief legislative officer of the General Legislative Council, shall be the presiding officer, shall preside the regular, special, and emergency meetings of the Assembly, and he or she shall be the head of the screening committee for the chairpersons and members of the standing committees of the General Legislative Assembly, relinquishing of the post in cases that the presiding officer shall speak or present to the body that is not related in being the moderator of the assembly, he or she shall relinquish the post to the pro tempore. In cases that the pro tempore is not present in the assembly, the presiding officer has the discretion to choose among the legislators present. Again, you can refer to the IRR given to you. Now we proceed to the section 2 for the pro tempore. For the pro tempore, it states that the pro tempore shall be elected from the members of the General Legislative Assembly and will serve as the Deputy Chief Legislative Officer. The elected pro tempore must be knowledgeable on parliamentary rules and procedures, shall preside the regular, special, and emergency meetings of the Assembly in case that the presiding officer shall speak or present to the body that is not related in being the moderator of the Assembly in cases that the proceeding or again, the presiding officer is unavailable. Next item, he or she shall be a member of the screening committee for the chairpersons and members of the standing committees of the General Legislative Assembly. Section 3 for the majority floor leader. Next slide, please. For the majority floor leader, the majority floor leader shall be elected from the college, student, council presidents, and representatives. And he or she shall be the member of the screening committee for the members and chairpersons of the standing committees of the General Legislative Assembly. Section 4, the minority floor leader. Next slide. For the minority floor leader, the minority floor leader shall be elected from the presidents of the university-based organizations and editor-in-chief of the functions. And he or she shall be the member of the screening committee for the members and chairpersons of the standing committees of the General Legislative Assembly. Yes, Ms. Azul, you are now recognized.
Madam Chair, I would like to move a motion
to suspend the reading of the roles and duties of the members for the members of this meeting is assumed to have read it beforehand. Thank you.
Thank you. So there is a motion to suspend the reading of the roles and functions of the officers of the assembly. Here, a second.
I second the motion.
I second the motion.
Okay, are there any more manifestations? Hearing none, are you now ready for the question?
Question.
We shall proceed to the division of the House. To those who are in favor for the suspension or to suspend the reading of the roles and functions of the officers of the assembly, please type in the chat box aye. To those who are not in favor, please type nay. And to those who wish to abstain, please type abstain. You only have maximum 1 minute to vote.
May family gathering po ako. Family gathering po. Sa Pennsylvania. Birthday. Naman ako. Pag bumagay yung pastor, paano yan nababalance? Paano yan nababalance? Kung natin. Parehas ng importante. Pero it may be history. Kasi may ano to? Oo, family is ministry.
Okay, time is up for the votes. The ayes have it, therefore the motion to suspend the reading of the roles and functions of the officers of the assembly is hereby carried and having the reading suspended, we shall now proceed to the conduct of the election of the following vacant positions of the officers of the assembly. We have the pro tempore, we have the majority floor leader, the minority floor leader, and the surgeon at arms. Now, for the pro tempore, the table is now open for the nomination for the position of pro tempore of the assembly. Are there any nominations? Again, are there any nominations for the position of pro tempore?
Madam Chair, I do recognize.
Yes, Mr. Aller, you are recognized.
I would like to respectfully nominate the Director General of the UNESCO, Ms. Sydney Ternueva.
Mr. Torrenueva is now nominated. Are there any more nominations? Or are there any other nominations?
I move to close the nomination.
I second the motion.
Okay, so the motion is now seconded. Are there any more manifestations? Hearing none, at this point, I will now call first the Director General of the UNESCO to deliver a short message or speech because there is no other nominations for the pro tempore position.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and maraming salamat din to the nomination from our CSR. I wholeheartedly accept the responsibility and commit myself to serve as the pro tempore of the General Legislative Assembly for this academic year and assure that all my responsibilities will remain objective, never subjective, but always true to the service of the PUNs. Thank you.
Thank you. So since there is only one nomination and the nomination has been closed, by the body, there will be no conduct of official or formal election. I therefore declare Mr. Torrenueva as the elected pro tempore of the Assembly. Congratulations. Virtual round of applause. Now we proceed to the next position. The table is now open for the nomination for the position of Majority Floor Leader of the Assembly. Are there any nominations? Again, just to remind, the nomination for the Majority Floor Leader shall only be open for the CSE Presidents and Representatives. Are there any nominations? Mr. Lorilla, yes, you are next.
I respectfully nominate Asher Jade as the Busan CSE President as the Majority Floor Leader.
Ms. Azul is now nominated. Are there any other nominations? Again, are there any more nominations? Hearing none, would you like to raise it into a motion if you think that the nomination should be closed? Anyone from the members?
Madam Chair, I move to close the nomination.
I second
the motion.
I second the motion.
The motion is hereby seconded. Are there any more manifestation? Hearing none, I now call Ms. Asher Jade Azul to please deliver your short speech about the nomination.
Good morning again to the members of the General Legislative Council. To be part of this event is already an honor and a privilege, but to be elected as a majority floor leader will surely heighten the responsibility attached. However, I am confident that I can fashion unanimous consent agreements, give importance to the programs of this legislation, and all the while keeping in mind that the very reason that we are here in the council is for the betterment of the university and for the welfare of the students. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Now, there being no other nominations and it is seconded by the members of the General Legislative Council, there will be no formal election to be conducted, and now I declare Ms. Asher Jade Azul as the majority floor leader of the General Legislative Council. Congratulations. Virtual round of applause. Now, we shall proceed to the next position. The table is now open for the nomination for the position of minority floor leader. Are there any nominations? Again, to remind, the nomination for the minority floor leader shall only be open for the UBO presidents and PIC of the publications. Yes, Mr. Bernal, you are recognized.
Madam Chair, I respectfully nominate Jabe Andre Lotipio, the Chancellor of the OBFS, for the position of Minority Floor Leader.
Mr. Lutivio is now nominated. Are there any other nominations? Again, are there any more nominations? Okay, hearing none, may I hear someone from the members to close the nomination? If there will be no other nomination.
Madam Chair, I move to close the nomination.
I second the motion.
Okay, the motion has been to close the nomination has been seconded by the body. Are there any more manifestation? Hearing none, I now call in the nominee, Mr. Jabe Andre Lotini, to deliver his speech.
Hello, good morning again. Thank you for the nomination. As your minority floor leader, let's talk let's talk hand in hand for the um, betterment, for the greater good of the whole university-based organization, and also to the members that we are serving with, and to all the student body in the Bicol University. Thank you, and that would be all.
Thank you so much, Mr. Latibio. There being no other nomination, and it has been seconded by the members of the General Legislative Council, I therefore declare Mr. Jabe Andre Latibio as the official minority floor leader of the General Legislative Council. Congratulations. Now we shall continue with the election for the next position. The table is now open for the nomination for the position of Sergeant at Arms of the Assembly. For this position, we will be requiring 2 elected members or officials as enshrined in the implementing rules and regulations of our assembly, which states that in every 50 members of the assembly, there should be 1 sergeant at arms. So the council having a total of 126 members, we shall require 2 sergeant at arms. Are there any nomination? Again, any nomination for the position of the sergeant at arms?
Madam Chair, may I be recognized?
Yes, you are recognized, Mr. Aler.
I would like to respectfully nominate the President of the BU Institute of Design and Architecture, Carl Malone.
Again, Mr. Aler, will you please repeat the nomination?
I would like to respectfully nominate the President of the BU IDEA, Carl Malone.
So, Mr. Lorilla is now nominated. Are there any other nomination? The table is still open for nomination for the position of Sergeant at Arms. Again, we shall require 2 Sergeant at Arms for this council, having 126 total number of members. Ms. Hanoras is now recognized.
Madam Chair, I respectfully nominate Paul Aaron Ala as one of the sergeant at arms.
Mix Ala is now nominated for the position of Sergeant at Arms. Are there any more other nominations? Someone would like to speak?
Madam Chair, may I be recognized?
Yes, you are recognized.
I move to close the nomination.
There is a motion to close the nomination for the position of Sergeant at Arms. Do we hear a second?
I second the motion.
The motion has been seconded. Now, there will be no other nomination. At this point, I would like to call Mr. Lorilla first to deliver his speech, to be followed by Mr. Paul Ala. You are now recognized, Mr. Carl Malone Lorilla. Again, Mr. Lorilla. We shall proceed first with Mr. Paul Alan Ala. Again, Mr. Ala. Yes, you are audible.
It's Paul here.
Isang mapagpalang umaga mula sa Kolehiyo ng Pagkalina. Maraming salamat po sa nomination for this position. I promise to work hand in hand with Mr. Carl Maloney and to be able to carry out the responsibilities that are written in our implementing rules and regulations that is stipulated for the Sergeant at Arms. I guess that's it po. Thank you so much, Paulette, and God bless us all.
Thank you. Now I call in again Mr. Carl Malone Lorilla. Again, Mr. Lorilla, are you around? I think that Mr. Lorilla is experiencing internet connection problems. Still, I want to confirm if Mr. Lorilla is aware about the nomination. Mr. Aller, I would like to ask if Mr. Lorilla is aware and informed about the nomination.
Madam Chair, I only saw Carl enter the room, so I opted to nominate the good president. If the assembly would like to recognize the nomination, I would be very happy since I think the good president is capable of doing the job of Sergeant at Arms in this General Legislative Council meeting.
Hearing your comment, Mr. Aller, would you like to raise the motion to still consider the nomination of Mr. Lorilla for the position of Sergeant at Arms of this assembly?
Madam Chair, I move to still continue with the nomination of Carl Malone as Sergeant at Arms of this General Legislative Council meeting on the premise that the good president is a member of the council with a good standing. Thank you very much.
So there is a motion to consider the nomination of Mr. Carl Malone Lorilla for the position of the Sergeant at Arms. Do we hear a second?
I second the motion.
Okay, are there any more manifestation? Hearing none, are you now ready for the question?
Question.
We shall now proceed to the division of the House. To those who are in favor for the consideration of the nomination for Mr. Carl Malone Lorilla, you may please proceed to the group chat of the voting members of the Assembly to please cast your votes. And to those who are not in favor, please do the same. And to those who wish to abstain, kindly do the same as well. Kindly do the same. You will be only given maximum of 1 minute for the to be able that your the votes will be counted. Your votes shall be counted. Again, I would like to remind everyone to please vote through the group chat of the voting members of the Assembly. You only have, I would like to confirm from the technical team, 3 seconds to vote. Now the voting is now officially closed. I would like to get the result verified from the Secretariat Committee. I shall now read to you the results. The votes for the in favor got 44, and to those who are not in favor, only 2, and there is no abstain. So therefore, the motion to consider the nomination of Mr. Carl Malone Lorilla for the position of Sergeant at Arms of the Assembly or the Council is hereby carried and approved. We shall continue having the nomination of Mr. Lorilla being considered. I declare Mr. Lorilla and together with Mr. Paul Aaron Ala as the official Sergeant at Arms of the General Legislative Council. Congratulations. So we are done with the election of the officers of the Assembly. We shall continue and proceed to the next item of the order of business, the presentation or reading of roles and functions of the existing standing committees. Next slide. For the Secretariat Committee, he or she shall be headed by the Secretary General of the University Student Council and take charge of the dissemination, filing, and reproduction of all records and documents of the Council, including committee reports, financial and accomplishment reports, minutes of the Council meetings, General Legislative Assembly, and the Bicol University Parliament, and other important documents necessary for the transactions of the Council. Before I proceed, I would like to recognize Mr. Bernal.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that we suspend the reading of the rules of the committees, assuming that everyone has already read it because ibigay na siya sa atin and we should have read it.
So there is a motion to suspend the reading of the roles and functions of the standing committees or chairperson of the standing committees. Do we hear a second?
Second the motion.
Are there any manifestations? Hearing none, are you now ready for the question?
Question.
We shall now proceed to the division of the House. To those who are in favor to suspend the reading of the roles and functions of the Standing Committee of the General Legislative Council, please type aye. And to those who are not in favor, please type nay. And to those who wish to abstain, kindly type abstain. You will only be given maximum of 1 minute to type your vote or your votes. Seconds left for you to cast your votes. Ten seconds. So the allotted time for casting of votes is now up. So the ayes have it. The ayes have it. Therefore, the motion to suspend the reading of the roles and functions of the standing committees of the General Legislative Council is hereby carried and approved. We shall now proceed to the election of the committee chairpersons with the vacant positions. The following committees are as follows: the Social-Cultural Committee, the Research, Education, and Publication Committee, the Students' Rights and Welfare Committee, and Academic Affairs Committee. At this point, the mode of electing the chairpersons shall commence through the breakout rooms designed for each committees. For the committees who already have designated chairpersons, please still proceed to your breakout rooms to meet your co-committee members. Now, the breakout rooms will be created by the technical team. Again, the breakout rooms will now be created by the technical team. Just have to wait for it. Mr. Aller, you are now recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For the efficiency of the election of the chairperson per committee, I move to suspend the parliamentary rules and procedure for 15 minutes, Madam.
There is a motion to suspend the parliamentary rules and procedures for the duration of 15 minutes.
I second the motion.
Do we hear a second? Okay, are there any more manifestation? Hearing none, are you now ready for the question?
Yes, John.
We shall now divide the House. To those who are in favor to suspend the use of parliamentary rules and procedures for 15 minutes, please type I through the chat box. And to those who are not in favor, please type nay. And to those who wish to abstain, kindly type abstain. You have 1 minute to go. So the voting is now closed and the ayes have it. Therefore, the motion to suspend the use of parliamentary rules and procedures for 15 minutes is hereby carried and approved. Okay guys, dahil nasuspend ang parliamentary rules and procedures, at this point, pwede po tayong gumamit ng vernacular language or kung saan po tayong dialect or lingwahe komportable. Magkakaroon po tayo ng election. Ang ating technical team po is still working on the breakout rooms. You should just have to wait. Again, I would like to reiterate that for those committees who already have their designated chairpersons, still proceed to the breakout rooms to meet your co-committee members. And I would also like to inform na sa mga committees po, it is upon your discretion if you will also have to go for the vice chairperson and the secretariat kung gusto po ninyong magkaroon. But if not, okay lang po, chairperson lang ang ilagay. Okay pa? We shall proceed after 15 minutes. Babalik po tayo and we are just waiting for the breakout rooms created by the technical team, and the election will commence if anong oras yung gusto i-set. Ilang minutes po ba? Can someone please message me or pwede po kayong mag-message doon sa group chat or dito sa Zoom since nasuspend naman ang Power Pro. Pwede po tayong mag-agree na lang. Meron po pang suggestion kung anong oras. Sabi dito ni Mr. Bernal, maximum of 15 minutes for the election per committee. Is it okay with you, everyone, the members? Since the suspension of the use of Power Pro is also suspended for 15 minutes, I believe we shall follow this duration as well. Okay, so for the breakout rooms, nakagawa na po ang ating technical team. Please kindly proceed to your respective committees, breakout rooms. And the secretariat team shall observe and check if the members in the breakout rooms are actually the legitimate members as enlisted in the records. At this point, I would like to read to you the following standing committees of the General Legislative Council. We have the Secretariat Committee. I have already read this a while ago. We also have the Finance Committee, the Public Relations Committee, the Ways and Means Committee, headed by the Business Manager of the USC, and the Public Relations headed by the PIO of the USC. The external relations shall be headed by the external vice chairperson of the USC. For the Research Cultural Committee, Research, Education and Publication, and Students' Rights and Welfare and Academic Affairs Committee shall be, the committee chairpersons will be elected through the breakout rooms. So the breakout rooms is now available. You may now join your respective committees. The election will only commence for 15 minutes. Again, I would like to remind everyone to please proceed to your respective breakout rooms for the STRO, the PR, the Social Cultural, the Research and Education, the Secretariat, the External, the University Student Center, the Academic Affairs, the Finance and Ways and Means. Please check here in the Zoom You may also need to check at the lower part of your Zoom conference for the notification of the appearance of the breakout rooms. Na-add ka na po, Mr. Llorente. Mamaya guys, after yung election, baka gusto niyo mag-recess muna tayo at mag-lunch break. So anyone can put that into a motion later. And hopefully, the afternoon, we may successfully discuss and approve all the resolutions. Having technical difficulties of the technical committee, tayo po we have to wait a little bit longer back because you will be assigning you to your respective committees one by one.
Madam Chair, can we improvise? Can we do the election sa group chat?
The group chat of your committees?
Yes, please.
Sige. Pwede rin. And we resume at 11:30 because meron na lang tayong 8 minutes left for the election. However, for the suspension of Parl Pro and extension of Parl Pro suspension and extension of the election, pwede kayo mag-raise ng motion mamaya pagkabalik ko sa Parl Pro procedure, Parl Pro mode. Ganun na lang po gawin natin. May mag-extend na lang if kulang po tayo sa oras. So ngayon, to everyone, you may now proceed to your group chats. Dahil meron na po tayong na-create na mga group chats, doon na lang po i-check ng aming secretariat team kung kumusta ang election, and we will now dissolve the breakout rooms since that all of the committees here have are already designated to their group chats through the messenger, via the messenger. So, ganun na lang po gagawin natin. We should be back at 11:30, and if you will have or there's a need to extend the suspension of the Parl Pro and extension of the election, please raise it into a motion. Okay? Thank you. I'll be back.